Hello, boys. We're live here at our YouTube channel from Open Insurances. We're going to start today. Let me check up on all the um, platforms. Let's start with Instagram as well. I'll check here. Sorry about this. Okay. Okay, now we're going live in English at noon every day. Sorry about this 15-minute delay. We're starting module number 7, Secret from an Insurance Broker. We have the pleasure of starting yesterday. We did our first, we just published the first book, Secrets from an Insurance Broker. We did it in Spanish. We'll be publishing in English in a couple of weeks now. I will for sure let you know, guys, when it's published, so you can go ahead and buy it on Amazon. So streaming online. Give me 1 second here. We're having this at the YouTube email from YouTube. Okay. So we're going to start today, module number 7, Secrets from an Insurance Broker. And today we're going to talk about personal branding. Personal branding is very important for an insurance broker and for any entrepreneur, because it gives you the opportunity to give me 1 second so I can greet these people here. And we are here with the secrets. Where is it? We got it here. Okay, so in this module, we're going to talk about several things. The first thing we're going to talk about is in personal branding is what is it? What's personal branding? How do you start with your, how do you start building your personal brand? Why invest in a personal brand and how to build it? It's going to be this Secrets from an Insurance Broker is very complete. If you are in Udemy and you've used it before, go on to their site and click Secrets from an Insurance Broker, and it will help you out being an entrepreneur, being in any type of industry. This will help you out because we cover all the areas from the business side, skills needed to succeed. And if you want to build a personal brand, this is your moment. You are in quarantine right now with the coronavirus, and it's the best opportunity to start thinking about it. So we spoke about yesterday about the why, the purpose, and your purpose in life, and your purpose aligned with your personal brand is very important. So to begin with, so you go module by module, and if you apply the 9 modules, you'll get to expand your business, to grow it exponentially, and to build something for the long run. So if you went yesterday about the purpose in life and what's your purpose in your company or in your personal accomplishments, well, this is the next step. Building a personal brand is very important. If you're a student, if you are an art dealer, an entrepreneur, if you're an insurance broker and a travel agent, whatever you do, if you sell yachts, whatever you do, you need to build your personal brand. And by building your personal brand, I mean it building it on 2.0 as of now. And one of the things that it's very important, and there's many messages that can add to this, but it happened to me, and it has happened to many entrepreneurs. But I can tell you one example, and one of the biggest examples that I use for being online and for publishing and for being active in social media is there are 2 examples. The first example is a good friend of mine. He used to say to me when I started the building my personal brand, due to my due to my visa here in the US. I have an O1 visa, and it's a visa that they give to artists or entrepreneurs or extraordinary abilities visa. So I applied it because I have the expertise for international corporate insurance, and I've been developing this brand, this startup called Open Insurances. And for those of you who follow me for the last 4 years, I've been doing this in travel, health, life, and many other different insurances around the U.S. and globally. So part of that was building my personal brand. And I was having lunch with this client, with this good friend of mine, and he used to say to me, "Oh, wait, what are you wasting your time in Facebook and wasting your time in Instagram, wasting your time in YouTube or in any of those? That's a waste of time. You won't sell a dime through there." And I was completely amazed, because this is a really very successful entrepreneur. And one of the things that I said to him, and one of his advices, or one of his experiences, was that if you are in social media, or if you're public in social media, you will be exposed. And I said to him, "Really? Okay. And don't you think you're already exposed?" He says, "No, for sure not. I don't have Facebook. I don't have Instagram. I don't have any of those. I don't even have LinkedIn." I said, "Oh, wow. Okay, so let's do something. Let's bet $100 if I can find you something that your mother don't know about you. And if I can find that on a site in a couple of minutes, then you'll pay me $200 or $100." So I went onto Google. I put up his name, his complete name, first and last, and the full two names, full two last names. And I went on Google, and in less than a minute, by being there having lunch with him, I found out how much taxes he paid last year, how much money he made, how much taxes he paid at his home, things that nobody knew and that nobody in his family knew. And he said, "Oh my God, it was incredible." And then when we did exactly the same with my name, we put out my name and went to Google, you would find information like that, but on the 60th page. Nobody goes there. Nobody goes there. And the reason why is that I've been publishing so much in social media for my personal brand, for building my brand, that getting that information is going to be really tough, because I have inundated the 2.0, the technology. I've inundated Facebook, Instagram, TripAdvisor, LinkedIn, Opportunity, Lineable, all of those, Gmail. I have YouTube channel. I try to have everything. I even had Google Plus, that it's now over. But I'm on TikTok. I'm on any social media app that exists. So getting that info for myself is going to be really tough. And he was totally blown away by the information. And the other reason why it's important to get a personal brand is that it can help you in your business when things go wrong. And let me give you a brief example. There was a very famous coach from a very well-known team in Florida that he spent 15 years winning straight championships, state championships, county championships, and every single game that he played, he had a really really good percentage of winnings. And he would be winning straightforward, like 15 years, since 1998 until 2013. He would win every single state champ. So he was a really well-known. And as he was so successful, one of the teams in the middle of the U.S., in the Midwest, they called him up and he said, "We want to hire you as a coach." And he said, "Oh my God!" So it was like 2 times, 3 times, 4 times what he was getting, getting paid. So he didn't think much, and he went straight on. And one of the things he explained during the many years he had his winnings with the football team, was many digital marketing experts would go to him and ask him, "Do you want to build your personal brand?" And many people in LinkedIn would call him, would go to him and would call him on the phone and saying, we need to hear your story. It's going to be powerful, because you've been so successful in what you're doing. And this example, we want to copy a good example. And he would say, no, I don't need that. Social media, it's crappy. I don't care about that. My business, I'm in another business. I'm in the business of coaching kids and developing them, and that's what fills me in, and that's it. So he would turn down every single person that would do his branding, even though several of them were doing it for free, because it was so powerful, a um, a story, that many digital marketers would go for him and tell them would do it for free, and he would turn them down. Being free, he would even turn them down because he was feeling afraid of being exposed to the public in that way. So what happened with this guy is he goes into the Midwest. He's never been there, never lived there before, and as he goes there, he he starts training a team. He starts training a very good team, and for some reason, uh, he didn't have 6 months in the business, in the new job, training these kids, and some event happened, and there was charges against him because he was misbehaving with the youngsters and stuff, and social media exploded against him, and then he started making phone calls. How can I do to repair this damage? Someone's talking badly over me. And he was envy from other coaches, he was envy from other teachers, he was envy from other teams, envy everywhere, because he had been so successful in his job previous, that everyone felt like, this is gonna he's gonna take away every tactical team, every technical team, every physical that is it's there. So they felt like that, and many of them started talking badly. And the first ones who started spreading the bad news about him were all the teachers that envied him. So he had to call a special marketer, one of these girls that offer for him, um, presenting his brand publicly, and how can I repair this? And well, the good thing is that social media could help, and if you have a good expert that can help you out, they clean up. He didn't have anything to do with the charges being brought up against. It was someone else, as he was the new kid on the block, or the new boy, or the new person in this area, they would point at him right away. So he was free of charges and everything, but he spent really, really 4 to 5 weeks in cleaning up his brand. And the first thing the person who helped him said to him, the first thing was saying, how on earth you didn't mention all you had? If you had had your personal brand established, you wouldn't have this type of trouble for sure, because you can show that you are relentless, that you are resilient, that you are the best coach in the country, because you have 15 years in a row winning. Nobody does that. And as soon as and as the NFL and many other entities would see that and would recognize that, then you would have several other awards, because that's something really important. And the only way to find out that you're special, that you're extraordinary, and that you are on a certain level is by putting out there your personal brand. So for me, it's a go. If you want to build a business in insurance, if you're selling intangible, you're selling the invisible, you're selling a promise, you need to be powerful in your branding, because people want to check out on you. Every client is going to check out where you live, what you do, what are your passions, and they're going to check it out. And if you don't publish, and if you're not out there, you will be irrelevant in a couple of years, totally irrelevant. And for millennials and centennials, that are the clients, the guys you want to attack in a couple of years, because they'll have the money to pay for trips, they'll have the money to pay for health insurance, they'll have the money to pay for life insurance, and they'll be your future clients. They will not expect less, that you have a very well established personal brand on social media and on a website and on 2.0 world. And so these two events are really powerful. I hope you like the module. Go into the site Udemy and ask secrets from an insurance broker. Give me a good review if you buy it and if you really do it in this quarantine. I hope you do it and you enjoy it, because it's not a way, it's not selling any product. It's just, full know-how of how to build a solid portfolio for the years to come and for you to retire safely and soundly. So in the first part, we talk about personal branding. You talk about your beliefs and what you do and your hobbies. And according to Jeff Bezos, personal branding is nothing more than what people say about you when you are not present. That's, one of the greatest examples of personal branding is Jeff Bezos or Richard Branson from Virgin, or even Steve Jobs. His story is so powerful. He put up a fantastic journalist to write his autobiography, his biography. So all of those, even Bill Gates, is now has his own series in Netflix talking about what he did since 1980 up till now, and how he became a billionaire, and what are the steps that you have to follow. So if you follow the steps of a leader like Jeff Bezos or Richard Branson or Bill Gates or whoever, you hear Nelson Mandela's story. It's so powerful that if they didn't invest time and effort and money and resources into building their own brand, you wouldn't be able to notice that. So that is very important, because when you build your personal brand, you're talking about things that are personal, and because experience comes from leadership comes from example. So if they follow your example and you create new leaders, then your job is done. Then your legacy is there. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to enforce to grow the market. I believe that the best way to sell more, and the best way to increase your revenues, and the best way to create wealth, and the best way to succeed in life is not taking business from others, but increasing the market. That's one of the things that is crucial to Bill Gates, to Steve Jobs, to Jeff Bezos. Steve Jobs didn't turn bankruptcy, for example, other companies. Maybe some of them that wouldn't adapt, they would go bankruptcy. But really what he did was so amazing, because he created a new world, a new digital world with the iPod Nano, iPad, and all those things. Even the iPhone is unique. Now you don't have a personal computer at home. Maybe you don't have a desktop. Maybe you only have a laptop. Or even so, maybe there are people out there that only do businesses with the iPhone or with the iPad. That's it. They don't need a desktop or a laptop, and you can still do a lot of business only having those two powerful, really powerful machines, and really powerful personal computers, because an iPhone switched and changed the whole thing. So what he did wasn't, he didn't destroy Microsoft. No, he said we're a bit better, and he brought several things that Microsoft wasn't even doing. So Microsoft still being a huge company in the world, a huge example. They're owners of LinkedIn, and they have switched their system very similar to Apple, copying the best, and or trying to be the best. And but the good thing is growing the market. So if we talk about insurance, which is my area of expertise, and that's why I'm so fond of it. My grandfather, when he built a company 75 years ago, he built a company in our country which didn't exist. They weren't in Venezuela insurance brokerage firms. They were only agents. And we built the first, well, he built the first brokerage insurance company. And now what I'm doing here is trying to do the same as social media. Social media for me is democratization of ideas, is the democratization of education, is democratization of information. Google is the democratization of information. So what we're doing is trying to democratize the insurance. I don't know if someone is joining in. Democratizing, sorry about this. I think I have something open that shouldn't be open. But we're in open insurances, so we have to be open. Okay. And democratization of the insurance. Sorry about that. I don't know what these sounds are coming from, but for sure I'm going to check it out. Okay, so it's the democratization of insurances. If everyone knows much more about insurance and have the culture and increase their culture in the insurance sector, and knowing that the intangible, the invisible, and selling the promise that we sell and we deliver, and the companies which we surround ourselves with are all companies that deliver, that give their promise and give into their promise. Then much more people would insure themselves. Much more people will start to believe in it, and by growing the market, we grow our business exponentially. Because there's no way you can grow exponentially if you are selling and trying to get customers from other brokers, and that situation, it's working with scarcity, and we want to work with abundance. So by working with abundance, when you work in a market that doesn't exist, then you're working with abundance. And when you work with abundance, technology follows exponentially. Exponential growth comes in and comes away. That's what I've been talking about in the last 2 or 3 weeks or 7 weeks, that we started out exponential sales and insurance exponential sales and exponential sales for any market. So one of the things that I've always repeated is innovation and marketing. You have to be in innovation and marketing if you're an entrepreneur, if you are a salesman, if you're an insurance, whatever you are dealing with growth, you are going to need to invest in innovation and marketing. So if you are positioning your personal brand, one of the things that you have to work on it and that you have to think about it is think about innovation and marketing all the time. So how to build your brand? It's very easy. You find yourself a friend or a cousin or a nephew, whatever, that builds your logo. You choose the best colors that are aligned with your branding. If you want to do a special work on it and you want to get psychology into it, you have to find an expert in what colors are best for your personality. If you do an archetypal, a big archetypal psychology test, you can do it. But you can use whatever is in the market. For example, red is really powerful, it's aggressive. Green is hope, and yellow is every color has its significance. You can find out, and then you can choose the ones you like, and because it's your brand in the end. If you want to dress however you want to dress, that's your brand, that's your authenticity. Things that we were talking yesterday, you have to be authentic, and so you choose a good logo, you choose colors that identify yourself with. Then you get the costume. What are you going to use to your office, to go into your office, to your clients, to whatever you approach someone? It's going to be informal, it's going to be formal, and that formality would also be related to what you write on your postings, on what you put in Instagram and LinkedIn and Twitter. Many different social media platforms have many different ways of talking. There's no such a thing as the same talking to every single platform. No, if you talk on LinkedIn, you got to be more formal because that's professional only. And if you work with Instagram, that is a broader area. If you are on TikTok, it's going to be fun. It's going to be for youngsters and for very young people. And if you talk in Twitter, it's going to be a bit more formal because you want to bring about people to serve them from any side of the equation. And some customs, whatever you wish to dress, do it, but keep it consistent. It's important. And we talk all about that on how to build your brand in the course, in the Secrets from an Insurance Broker module number 7. And why is it so important to invest on your brand? If you invest on your brand, you give more value first, then it's going to be very easy to get new clients online. And at the moment, one of the things that is happening is we were preparing for this coronavirus experience. We were preparing for something complicated that like what's been happening. and it turns out that now the only way to sell is going to be online for a couple of months now. So if you haven't invested in it, start doing it. Go online, search for the course, go to Udemy, buy it, and start doing it. It's a step by step. It's really easy, and you gotta start doing it, because that's gonna be the only way you're gonna get new clients in this rough situation in any area of business that you are developing. We're now developing products for coronavirus, health insurance. We are developing life insurance that protects you against coronavirus, mortgage protection programs. We're doing everything inside the US so we can grow exponentially. And also outside of the US, we're doing an international agreements with big companies that can help us out through this crisis and bring different products that people need. So if you're interested in making extra bucks, if you're doing something right now because you're feeling overwhelmed with what's happening on all the news and stuff, and you want to use this time to build a business, call us, engage with us, send us a DM message, and we will start right away. If you live in the US, fantastic. We got contracts with several companies around the country, in the 50 states, and we can work with anyone. We could do life protection, mortgage protection. We could do term life, whole life, universal life, everything, every single product that exists in the US market, we have it. And we also have health internationally, and health matching accounts here locally, which is fantastic, to cover the co-payments, to cover deductibles, to cover all those things. We're just talking to a really big company that's going to help us out in that. So feel free if you want to join. Some of the products need a license in the US. Some of the products don't need a license. And if you want to start making money right now, call us, send us your email, and we'll be on our way to building cash right now. In a couple of days, we can start selling online. There's a huge amount of people that need life insurance because they didn't protect themselves before and they need it now. And we have the products to issue the policy without medical examinations. So that's very important. Only answering a few questions and you can start right away. So why invest in your personal brand? That's a big part of what we say. It's not promoting yourself. It's giving value to your brand. It's giving value to the people around you. It will help your sales processes. It will transmit a lot of security in your words, and it's a long process. It's not something that you do day and night in 24 hours. But if you follow the steps closely, if you follow the steps and start doing what it needs to be done, and you follow what I say in the course, you will start getting calls, and you will start getting DMs, and you will start getting numbers and emails from people who want to join your business, who want to join your network, and who want to join and want to be a part of your organization. So go ahead and do it, whatever area you are. By being in any, this works in any area. We've tried it in art dealers. We've tried it in galleries. We tried this in any area of the economy, in snacks, in liquor stores. We've tried this in several. So you can try it, and it's going to work. Another very good topic that we use for personal branding, and that's key for personal branding, is all those stories. You have so many stories that you can tell in social media, and storytelling is part of personal brand. It's very important because you have so much know-how, you have so much experiences in different type of things, and for sure you will need to. Oh, so sorry. And for sure you'll get some of those, and the best of those that you can do them, you can put them in video, you can write them down, you can do testimonials by yourself, whatever. It's not the best thing is to put it up in video and start by presenting yourself, and then as you grow, as you start developing your brand, you can start sending those stories, because people love to listen about your stories, interesting stories. If you're in sales, for example, something extraordinary that has happened. And one of the things that happened to me since I arrived in the U.S. a couple of years ago, I went to a theater to watch a play, and one of the persons that did the play, it was a different type of theater. It was like the people would intervene, so she would choose the person. She would choose actors from the people who were attending, and I was selected by her, but she was doing a theatrical part by herself. So I was chosen, and in the end, what I did was I took a picture with her, and we had a picture taken, and I put it up on Instagram, and said, fantastic, fantastic experience. Watch these theater. It's really, really good play. It's a fantastic play, and I give a review right away with no intention, with no expectations. And a couple of days later, I started following her, and she said, "Oh, I'm in Chile, I'm in Argentina, I'm in Ecuador, whatever." And I said, "Do you have insurance for all those trips?" And she said, "No." "Oh, wow, really?" And she used to live in Venezuela. Now she lives she lived in Mexico, and she's traveling all over the world. And she lives in Miami for a certain amount of time, and she moved to several countries. She's been in Europe for a long time, and immediately she said, "You know what? I need health insurance. I need travel insurance. I live everywhere in the world. I'm on several places, and I got a very good client just by giving a good review." So you can do that as well. And those stories are so powerful, because people think that social media is just for gossip, and there's no business into it, and there's a lot of business in it. And more nowadays that everyone is in quarantine and is at home, and you are in contact with the social media every single day for a couple of hours, and much more hours. And now social media, it's complete. It's YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. It's Facebook. It's even WhatsApp. It's a social media platform. So start doing it. That's for sure. And do the course online. Go to udemy.com and go into secrets from an insurance broker, and you'll find it, and start doing it right away. The fifth thing that I would suggest in personal branding is to break paradigms. While is it true that personal branding is sometimes widespread between actors as influencers, coaches, and all kinds of people, it's very young in Latin America. So it's a big opportunity. If you're in insurance, it's a fantastic opportunity, because there's not many people doing it. In the US, there's tons of people talking about insurance. That's hundreds and thousands. But in our countries, it's really low. And the good thing about being one of the first ones, but being a pioneer, is that it's difficult, it's tough. You got to do a lot. The growth, it's slow, it's really slow. I've been there, and I've seen it. The growth is slow, but it's very powerful, because you can get new clients, you can get new contacts, you can get new insurance companies, and you can grow exponentially, as I've been saying, and I've been doing it for the last 4 years. So I suggest all of you, break the paradigm. Don't leave this only to presidents of JP Morgan, the president of a big bank. Remember the personal branding. For those of you who don't know how it all started, you think it all started with Hollywood actors back in the 70s, back with Marilyn Monroe. But the reality of the personal branding comes from presidents of banks in the 1800s. So in the late 1800s, when you wanted to get people to invest in your bank, or at least give them the money so you can save in that bank, people would rely very much upon the president of the bank, and that bank president would invest heavily, and there was a big amount of money in marketing from the bank in the president, such as JP Morgan or Morgan Stanley, or whatever names you can go into. Normally they would invest heavily in their branding. And those were the first ones. In banks all over the world, the president would invest really big money in lobby, in television, in many marketing, depending upon the moment where he was. In 1800s there was no TV, but he would invest heavily in propaganda, in advertising. And later on, when the TV came in, they would invest heavily in TV, in newspapers, in magazines, in everything they could put their hands on, so they would have the best of the best branding for their image. And it's very powerful, because that developed into Hollywood. They came into Hollywood, and it spread exponentially in the Hollywood sector. And obviously nowadays, you know that there's many influencers, and that term influencer comes from having thousands and thousands and thousands of followers, and that has the same impact in social branding, in personal branding, that what used to have many of those presidents. So now you can find a guy telling jokes in English or in Spanish or in Latin America or in India, whatever, and he would have more power of sales than many TV stations. So there are journalists that have themselves in YouTube more audience than many TV stations. So it's really, really important. It's another way of going into the market without having to spend so much money. And the good thing about the personal branding is that you don't have to spend so much money, because all these platforms right now that you have to take advantage of them are for free. YouTube is for free now. Facebook, Instagram, all of those are collaborative marketplaces. We don't know until when they'll be for free. So you gotta go into it now that they're actually for free. So this is more or less what we do in personal branding. Please go ahead and start by taking good pictures. Find a photographer from the family. Hire someone if you have the money for it. Hire someone to do really spectacular photos of you, and start building your brand in social media. Build something very interesting for LinkedIn, and then for the other you can be more relaxed, and start doing it and see how it goes. Check out on our website, on my website, juancfernandeza.com. Go into that and subscribe to my newsletter. You'll be getting some of the articles that we produce, and follow me in LinkedIn. We can join together and do business in LinkedIn. Take my phone number now. It's 561-542-5565. If you're in insurance here in Florida or in Houston or in California, Chicago, whatever you are, and if you have family in those states, if you have family in any state in the U.S., we can sell products with you. We can give you all the platforms you can start selling right now during this quarantine, so your time doesn't go wasted. So this is our promise, and we've been developing this for many years now, and we are now experiencing many people exchanging with us. The courses online have exploded. The Instagram have exploded, and all the platforms, and we do a seminar or a workshop are completely full. So go ahead and follow us. So thank you so much. This was Personal Branding Module 7 from Secrets from an Insurance Broker. Open insurances, because you never know. Thank you, boys. Thank you. All right. Thank you, my friends. Thank you so much for this streaming. Thanks for listening.